What is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven, and 3 months ago I made a video on how to boost your internet speed in 2020 by buying wireless adapters. I did an in-depth comparison of 4 of them, the highest ranked on Amazon, then broke them down, tested them for both download and upload speed, and it got a ton of views, a ton of comments, and a ton of questions asking if I could do one related to consoles, i.e. the Xbox One and PS4, so that is happening today. I'm going to show you guys the easiest, most cost-effective way to noticeably, substantially boost your console internet speed. Let's get it. Alrighty boys, so this is quite a bit different of a scene than we're used to on this channel. Generally I do things over at the gaming PC or over there by the gamer wall. This is generally where I shoot my lectures, my video lectures for my businesses and whatnot, but you know what, the glass whiteboard is exactly what we need for this video. So first of all, to understand why your internet sucks absolute ass would be, first off, going from the top down, you have a modem, which is usually a loaner that you'll get from AT&T, Cox, Spectrum, whoever you might have as your internet provider. And that box basically converts an analog signal into a usable digital signal that can connect into a router, or just a lot of them have built-in 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi that will spread it across your house. Generally though, they're not very good at that. That's why I highly recommend getting your own router, because you can use their loaner modem, like I use. It's equipment that you rent out, basically, or pay a one-time fee when you sign up for their service. Then you give it back to them, get your money back. And then I bought my own router, which I have the Netgear, the top-of-the-line one, the old Tomahawk Deluxe. It was about 250 bucks on sale, so it is a very high-end, very pricey piece of equipment. However, I think it has like a 20-year warranty or something like that. Fantastic customer service. I run it, 24/7. Never had an issue with it. And your router is going to give you a whole lot of features that can help you out tremendously. Now, if you don't want to spend that much money, I fully understand. I'll have links to some in the $50 to $80 range, and then a couple more in the $1 to $150 range, and then obviously a link to my personal one, which I definitely stand behind, but I understand it's a pretty penny. Now, a good router is going to take the signal from your modem and then basically amplify that transmission. Most of them have, several antennas that you can bend around your house and play around with different, configurations and stuff like that. They also have onboard amplifiers to increase your Wi-Fi signal. And then also, most good routers, any good router really, whether you go with Logitech or Razer, or Corsair, or Netgear. I highly recommend Netgear. They've been around for the longest doing it, but they have a 2.4 and a 5 gigahertz wavelength, or 2 different bandwidths. Obviously 5 gigahertz is quite a bit faster, and you need to make sure that your console is actually set up to receive that 5 gigahertz signal, which at the end here we're going to go through our console settings on a PS4 and an Xbox to make sure that we're completely optimized, but that's the last step. What we're doing right now is going from the modem down. So your modem, you can't really do a whole lot about unless you buy a custom one. I will have a link to the one that I recommend, but most people just use a loaner from their internet provider. The router, we've already covered that, and you can also do bandwidth allocation. So if you have a lot of people in your house that are watching Netflix or streaming or whatever, you can actually cut down their bandwidth a little bit and allocate it to your gaming PC or your consoles, which is really nice. Pisses off them, but it's good for you. Then the ideal connection you want to have is plugging an Ethernet cable directly from your router or modem into your console. However, that's usually not possible. Like, my router is not even on the same floor, let alone the same room as my gaming consoles. And I know for a lot of people in apartments and stuff like that, they can't pick and choose where they drill in the service drop for the modem, and their console's probably in the living room or something. So Ethernet, probably not happening, and that's when you need to get an Ethernet adapter. Voila, like this bad boy that I've had for over 2 years. This is a TP-Link, and this thing is awesome. It's only about 25 bucks on Amazon, and it is literally worth every penny. You can direct these kind of towards your console, and you basically plug this in the wall outlet right behind your console, and then on the bottom it has an Ethernet plug. So you can, in essence, get the second best thing to having an Ethernet hardwired connection, because you are hardwiring an Ethernet cable into it. The console will automatically recognize it's plugged into Ethernet. It will no longer say it's in Wi-Fi mode, and then this receives a signal directly from your modem, your router, which is connected to your modem. But to get the best signal to this, you should probably use a series of repeaters. And what repeaters are little boxes. Just imagine this one without the little arms on it, and it basically takes your Wi-Fi signal from the modem and router and pings it, re-pings it, repeats it, amplifies it. So basically, if you're in a rather large house and your modem's very, very far away from your console, then your repeaters basically keep skipping along to give you that maximum signal that you possibly can. So we'll go over some repeaters as well. I'll have links to the best ones in the description below. The most price-effective, best bang for your buck, because that's what I'm all about. And then we're going to go over there in the other rooms. I'm going to go over my console settings, how I set up my what IPs I use and stuff like that, what satellites I like to ping off of. I personally like to go off of the Google satellites, which is has a primary and secondary address that we'll plug in. And then, you know, this is kind of the last resort here. If none of these work for you, you should probably just ditch your service provider. So what I would do is I would call and get some quotes and some estimates for the highest, most affordable packages. You don't want to live out of your means for something as futile as a fast internet, but you know, I've switched twice actually in the last couple of years, and I now have Spectrum, which I had never even heard about until I came to this geographic area in Pensacola. But yeah, you just want to make sure, read a lot of reviews on like Reddit, Yelp, Google reviews, talk to people at your work center. Hey, you know, you guys are gamers, what do you use for your internet? Stuff like that. And just make sure that you have the best possible internet provider for your area, because that in essence is what all this starts at, is their connection at the modem. We can do all this stuff in the middle here, but if you're only getting, you know, 30 down and 2 up from them, you can't really, none of these are really going to boost or getting from the wall, that analog raw internet connection that you're getting. So hopefully this made sense for you guys. Hopefully it was informative. We'll go over the console settings real quick and then we'll wrap it up. Alrighty ladies, in the bedroom now. Sorry about the boxes, we're actually in the process of moving right now, and those boxes over there is because I'm doing a limited edition drop for my controller company. So yeah, working on a shitload of those bad boys. But that's not what the video's about, nobody really gives a shit. So first of all, you're going to go to your settings. If you don't know how to get to settings, from the main menu, just go up, and then it's this little logo right here. You're going to go into your network settings. Alright, already connected to the internet obviously. You can test your internet connection here, and then I'll give you an idea of your upload and download speed. We'll go ahead and do that now so we can get a good base point. I am not connected to Ethernet. I am literally just off my Wi-Fi. I don't have any repeaters set up. Oh my, 53.7 down, 2.1 up. Not bad, not bad. No, I'm just kidding. That is pretty bad considering my plan is rated for 100 plus up and usually 30 plus down. I am also uploading a YouTube video on the gaming PC in there, and I have the router allocating 80% bandwidth to that PC. So I guarantee when I turn that off and reallocate bandwidth, change the settings on here, that's going to go up just a little bit. Alright, to get these settings initialized, go to Setup Internet Connection. We are going to use Wi-Fi, and we are going to do Custom. There you go, got you guys propped up there so I can use both my hands here. So, when you are highlighting the internet that you want to select, press the Option button here, go to Wi-Fi frequency bands, and currently it's set to automatic. Now, the router I have does have both 5 and 2.4 gigahertz. Here's how I'm going to break this down. 2.4 gigahertz is more stable over long distances, so if your modem's very far from your console, you might want to go with that. 5 gigahertz is quite a bit faster, however it's less stable at longer distances, so if your modem's only like one room over, you know, obviously Wi-Fi frequency bands can shoot through walls and whatnot. You know, a little lesson in cryptography, but you know, generally, I mean, because I don't know, I'm kind of at a middle point, I would just leave this to automatic. Alright, for IP address settings, you can actually go automatic. Sony has really optimized this pretty well to give you some pretty good ones. We're not going to specify a DHCP host name. Ooh, DNS settings. Let's go ahead and put it in manual mode over here. 000. Well, anyway, usually that populates with a preset in there for whatever geographic area you are in. But we are going to go ahead and put in Google's drives, which their primary is 8. Very hard to do this with one hand. That's what she said. Bam. Alright, so that is what we're looking for here, and this is off the Google servers here, which happen to be pretty strong. I mean, Google's a decent-sized company, I would say. MTU settings, go ahead and leave those bad boys automatic. We are not going to use a proxy server. Alright, so just a skosh better, but we haven't even plugged in that TP-Link extender yet that'll allow me to Ethernet cable into this bad boy, so let's do that right now. Alright, so these are the results from the first poll hooked into the TP-Link. I kind of had to jerry-rig it. Obviously, I'm not going to leave it like this, but let's do a couple more polls and see if we can get some more inflated numbers, shall we, boys? Man, we're in the 60s now, boys, and still getting 3.3 on the upload, which is a substantial gain over the 1 or just barely 2 that we were getting earlier, but I think we can get a little bit higher. Wiz Khalifa, let's do it. Alright boys, well I did about another 100 pulls off camera and I was getting the same results. It's not like the internet's slow or anything like that. I was hoping to spike up a little bit, but hey, the PS4 is already pretty well optimized for Wi-Fi and LAN. But hopefully this guys gave you guys an idea of some of the things that you can do, tactics, techniques, devices you can purchase in order to boost your internet speed for you Xbox guys. I didn't forget about you. I actually have a link in the description below. I made a video about, I want to say 8 or 9 months ago about how to boost your Xbox speed up. When I was playing exclusively on Xbox. Before I was on PC, I didn't have a PS4 at that particular time, and yeah, it seems to yield some pretty good results for you guys. So that's going to do it. See you guys in the next one. Peace.